If you've already published a book on Amazon, or if you're looking to write a book and publish it on Amazon, you are probably going to be one of the thousands of people every single day that lose hundreds of thousands of dollars and they don't even know it. You know, when you think about becoming a bestseller on anybody's list, it really makes you feel good. It makes you, feel like you've accomplished something, you stand out, you're different from everybody else. But when you really think about a bestseller, how is being a bestseller serving the readers? The people that's actually going to buy your book, tell other people about your book, and buy your book for somebody else. It doesn't. And I will tell you this, from having a book on Audible even, like that's the pinnacle, if you will, and several other books on Amazon, there is so much more money you can make if you don't put your books on Amazon. And I can tell you from personal experience, and I'm going to tell you a whole lot more by the time we get to the end of this video, but going forward, I will probably never put another book on Audible or Amazon, period, based on my objective. Now, if your objective is only to become a bestseller and make everything about you, cool. And I'm not saying that if you become a bestseller, or if you want to become a bestseller, that's only making it about you. However, if you really want to help people and you really want to make an income and an impact, putting your book on Amazon is the enemy of that. Now, I will say this, when it comes to becoming a best-selling author, like that can make you feel good. It can even open doors that may not be open without it and things like that. But what people want more than anybody else is somebody who can actually deliver the expertise on the content that's being written about. So it's not even just so much about becoming an Amazon bestseller as it is about delivering on it. And there are so many different ways that people can make like thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars and even millions of dollars off of the content from their book. And the people who can put them in a position to do that, or even investing into doing that, they don't care about bestseller status as much as certain authors do. Now, I will say this, when you think about Amazon, Amazon is a business. If you've ever heard the term like blue ocean versus red ocean, when you put your book on Amazon, that is a red ocean, meaning that there's tons of other people who also have the same book as you in that area or that genre that they're putting on Amazon. So when you take all of your efforts to write a book, to publish a book, to finance the book and get it edited, all of these different things, and you put it on Amazon or anywhere else, you actually want that book to sell. But when you publish that book on Amazon, think about what you're doing. You're allowing these people who specifically want to hear from you only. You're putting them in a position where now they're going to hear from 5,000 other people that have the same type of book as you have. And you're putting them in a position where when they go to Amazon, they might get distracted from all of the different books and everything else that's being offered and even forget why they even came there. And so people don't realize that sometimes in order for you to really help people with your book, the most logical place to put it, you can't put it there, which is Amazon. Because there are so many times in my career where over the years, like I have driven so much traffic to Amazon only to find out that a lot of people that I sent there didn't even buy my book because they got distracted by everything else that was for sale. And when you think about a book, there are millions of other options outside of your book that somebody can buy on Amazon. So when you think about Amazon, they sell books. They're a platform that sell not only books but everything else, and you drive traffic specifically to them when they could be going somewhere else, but you drive traffic specifically to Amazon. And Amazon, let's say they do sell your customer, like they sell them your book, somebody go there and they buy your book. Guess what Amazon is doing? As soon as somebody purchases your book, mine, or anybody else's, Amazon is immediately upselling them on the back end to something else that has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with me, or nothing to do with any other author that publishes on Amazon. Now, I will say this, depending on your objective, Amazon might make perfect sense, but for most people, they don't realize that Amazon is the... If you're a seasoned author, a new author, or somebody who hasn't written a book yet, but you want to write a book, I want to invite you to become a part of the top 1% of all authors. About 97+% of all authors across any genre, they never make money from their book. And I want to show you specifically on how to make not just an income, but also an impact as well by showing you specifically the step-by-step process on how to write a book in 3 days that pays you residual income for life. Now, I know that probably sounds like a bold claim, something that's not even believable, but if you are a part of the small group of authors that actually know this process, you understand that it's actually common, believe it or not. But if you're somebody who's new, you never heard of it before, or you're seasoned but you never heard of it before, this can almost seem like a scam. And here's the reality. If you are an author, you've put all of your blood, sweat, and tears in it, you paid money, and you put this book out here and you still not making money, that's the scam. So I want to keep you from getting scammed continuously by showing you how to actually make money from your book for life, just by dedicating 3 days on how to specifically write it so that it actually can do that. So if you have any interest at all, click the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Worst place that they can actually put their book, because when you put your book on Amazon, Amazon immediately puts their back end to work to sell and upsell and resell and sell as much as they can to the people that you spent all of your effort trying to get. And you understand, just like I do right now in this day and age, attention is the greatest currency that we have. And so when people that know, like, and trust you, they're willing to go to Amazon specifically to buy your book because they feel like they know you, they trust you, and they like you, you're putting them in a position to go serve and go buy from somebody else other than you. And when you think about Amazon, Amazon never gives you the information, the emails, phone numbers from all of the people that purchase from you. So what that does is it puts you at a disadvantage if you ever want to follow up and thank those people, or if you ever want to follow up and see if they need something else. Because one of the biggest mistakes that mainly all authors make is by only serving their audience with a book. Now, if you only have a book in mind for your audience, you're doing them a huge disservice, because what happens is when people really enjoy your content, your perspective, and like your way of writing and methodology and things like that, when they finish that book, they want more. You can take the same content and you can put it in video format. Just because it's in a different format, even if it's the same content, it feels different for them. But if you sell your book on Amazon, you never ever get a chance to do that, follow up with these customers and serve them at that level. So Amazon does authors a huge disservice, because most authors, especially the new ones, they feel really great about their accounts. They really took the time to sit down, discipline themselves, write a book, something that's going to truly help so many different people that get access to it, and they send them to Amazon. And it's like, as an author, you put all of your efforts to market your book on Amazon, and Amazon makes the money. Like, you don't make a whole lot of money, but Amazon makes the money. And you put forth all of your effort. So it's like they're capitalizing off of your efforts as the author. And even when you think about the split, like the split that Amazon gives its authors is extremely unfair in my opinion, and then you think about, you don't really have control. Even if you self-publish, you don't have control of so many things that happens with your book when it's on Amazon. Because if you just say, you know what, I don't want to reduce the value of my book by offering, a 80% discount. Well, guess what? When it's on Prime Day or Monday or Tuesday or any other day that Amazon decides that it wants to create a sale, you can't do anything about how much they sell your book for. And people can just get discouraged to buy your book at regular price. They're like, you know what, I'll wait until next week or next month or Black Friday or whenever the case may be. And what that does is it puts potential buyers off to never even buy your book, because again, we have good intentions to come back and do something, and sometimes we just never do. So when you put your book on Amazon, it's like you literally give up full control of this baby that you have been nurturing for however long it took you to deliver this book, and you put it in the hands of this big behemoth of a platform that not only sells your book, but they sell millions of other books, and they don't really care about me, you, or anybody else. It's just all about the back end. Like, what can they upsell you? And so when people are writing books, like they're taking all this time to write a book, put it together, they don't realize how much money they're actually missing. Even in book sales alone, there are so many authors that they can sell at least 1,000 copies, 5,000, maybe even 10,000 copies of their book However, when they send people to Amazon, they lose about 60% of all of those sales because people just get distracted. So when people send people to Amazon to purchase their book, it's only about 40% of the buyers that they specifically send to buy their book on Amazon that actually go through the entire transaction. So you think about if the average author is losing like 60% of their customers to all of the different distractions, you think about how much money by itself that alone can be. But when you layer that on top of them being able to serve their readers at a higher level by offering them the same content in a different format, or even if you get fancy with it and offer it like in maybe a face-to-face retreat or something like that, where they get to spend time with the author, or a meet and greet, like it's so many different things that somebody could do with their book to make more money from it. But when you think about just a few of those different things, by putting their book on Amazon, they are losing hundreds of thousands of dollars and they don't even know it. And the thing that when you put your book on Amazon, you don't get a chance to do is you don't get a chance to build a buyer's list. See, when you think about Amazon, they give all of these discounts, like crazy discounts, because guess what? First and foremost, none of the products are theirs, so they don't care. It's like, hey, this is their product, or this product, or even your product. They don't care how much they discount it for, because they're going to make money anyway. Their whole goal is to get a buyer's list, because when they get a buyer's list, they can follow up with these buyers anytime they want to sell them any other thing that they have on their marketplace that somebody else created. And when you take the time to put your book on your own platform, get your own website and sell your own book, what you're doing is, number one, you're only creating one thing that people can do when they come to your website. Like, they can't buy 1,000 different things. They can only buy your book, and that's exactly how you want it. And when people buy from your website, you get a chance to build your buyer's list. So even if you have a book right now, or you're in the process of writing a book, but you don't have everything else that you could sell them, when you get this person on your list, you already know that they're a buyer. So whenever you create this next thing to serve them at the highest level, you already have a buyer's list to follow up and sell them on it. But if you put your book on Amazon, you never ever get that opportunity. And here's the thing that I want to also, just make available to you. If you are somebody who is an author, or you are an aspiring author, and you've never written a book yet, but you really want to write a book. If you've written a book or you aspire to write a book, you understand, if you've read the statistics, 97% of all authors, they never make money from their book, even on Amazon. I want to flip that 100% around on its head. So if you are somebody who not only wants to make an impact, but you also want to make an income, I want to show you specifically how you can write a book that pays you residual income for life. Now, I know that's a bold claim, but I challenge you to challenge me on it to see if this is something that's even possible, and if so, is it even possible for you? And if you have any interest at all, I want you to click the link in the description and check out the page to see specifically what it entails, and see like if your book is a great fit with what this offer is. And I can promise you, this is something that a lot of authors that don't put their books on Amazon, they're experiencing this every single day. And here's the reality. It might be very uncommon to you if you've never heard it before, if you're a new author, or just like you've never heard of this concept before. But I can promise you it's common to those that know the system. And I'm not the only person to know the system. I'll be full transparent and say that. But for those that know the system, this is pretty common. And it's like, once you learn it, it's something that you can apply to every single book going forward, and truly make a lifestyle investment, not just in your book, but also in yourself, and you're serving people at the highest level on the other side. So if you have any interest at all in that, I want you to click on the link in the description. And if you've enjoyed any part of this video, I want to ask you to share this with at least 2 people that you know is either an author right now, or they are aspiring to be an author, so that they can bypass some of these mistakes and not allow hundreds of thousands of dollars to slip through their hands without them even knowing it.